Why, yes, I still do play Yu-Gi-Oh! Now make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, YCS in review weekend. My experience just going to the event, having a good time, hanging out with people, and so forth. So first thing I want to say is I started this video by saying yes, I do in fact play Yu-Gi-Oh, but the reason for that is I actually had a couple people come up to me and they're like, I didn't even know you were going to be here. I didn't even know you still played this game. You know, I upload so much content analyzation and looking at this game that, you know, I still do play this game. And contrary to popular belief, I mean, like, we've got Mind Shuffle put together here. I mean, like, I like this deck a lot. You know, when this does come out in Origins, I do want to play it. I chose not to play this YCS because this format is pretty terrible. But I'll talk a little bit more about player perception about this particular event. Because one of the most, you know, chilling things I got out of this event from just walking around talking to the player base was players are not happy with the current format. But I'll talk about that in another video because I want to talk about the weekend, have fun, and instead of playing the YCS, I went up to the card shop and played Gundam because it was more fun. Because we're preparing for Peoria next weekend, and ended up getting second place there. So pretty confident in that. Also had people come up to me and be like, "You play Gundam?" I mean, hey, I guess the more that you guys tend to know, the better. Right now, I'm not happy with the format, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Also, domain format, I gotta give them a little bit of a shout out here. I spent a good chunk of Saturday night talking to them about their format. They came up with this little LifePoint showcase. But these are little prizes that they've got in development and things like that. And then on the inside, you know, dice go in here. But if not, if you're like me, this is a giant spinner that you can put on your table and be very happy about. So I do recommend, if you like alternative formats or you just don't like Genesis, you want to play another alternative format, or maybe you like older format, it depends on your taste. Like, I'll be honest with you. But, you know, give Domain a little bit of a check out. I definitely, this is actually kind of cool. I'll give them some credit. It's definitely something I didn't really expect to see in terms of developments out of this weekend. So, I spent a majority of this YCS doing what I normally do, walking around and talking to the player base, getting to know people, you know, just engaging in the part of the game that a lot of Yu-Gi-Tubers say is dead, which is the trading aspect of the game, where, you know, you go out to see, you know, what cool things that players bring to these events. I did find a couple of very cool things to add to personal collection. So this is one of the coolest things that we actually got out of the weekend. We actually found a Ultimate Rare Trident from Japan that we got the chance to pick up. And this card is absolutely gorgeous. I think this is one of my favorite cards we didn't get in Ultimate Rare. And we didn't even get like quarter centuries and things like that for this, which is very disappointing. I also picked up something else, but this is not in as good of shape due to like some of the corners kind of fraying a little bit. But this is another example of, you know, like the missed technology that we didn't necessarily get on our side of the game. Obviously, some of these OG Ultimate Rares that they have are crazy cool, just in terms of little collector's pieces that you're able to kind of add to your collection and so forth. Also, something very, very interesting out of the weekend. Since I saw a lot of cool binders and a lot of things from people, this card right here, this is actually one of the other coolest pickups I managed to trade for. Actually tracking down Mystical Ref Panels. Mystical Ref Panel is one of those cards that people have forgotten about over the years, because it doesn't do anything, and it's also very, very weird in the way that it functionally works within the game. Players just kind of don't really get the opportunity to do things like that. Oh my god, you're going to love this next little batch here. These were given to me by somebody. These are Effect Veiler proxies from back in the day. So, stop. We have the Vegeta here, which that's great. We have another one of these, and definitely this is why I like going to these events, man. You get to see crazy things like that just popping up out of nowhere, and you're just like, but why? Why do you have something like this? I will say, though, one cool thing I did like about this YCS, you could not track this card down all weekend. This was one of the hottest commodities of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience out of this weekend. And the reason for this was everybody needed this card Friday. This card, I think, from what I was told, this card got bought out from several vendors. It was non-existent on Friday. Now, as per every YCS, if you need cards, wait until Saturday night where everybody's just like, I no longer have a reason to play this event, so now you can go trade for everything you want, which was actually kind of nice. It definitely made life very easy, because it's like, all right, cool. Actually, one of my friends walked up to me at the end of the event. It was like, hey, I know you've been looking for accusations all weekend. I dropped. I'm tired. I'm ready to go home. So I actually got their accusation from them, which actually saved me a lot of time. Also, we actually have this deck core now. This actually might be something you might see on the Saturday segments. Over the weekend, I managed to piece together the whole Temple of the Kings deck, just to be able to have it, man. You guys kind of know, like, in terms of the Saturday segments, I'm having a lot of fun just being able to put some different decks on camera, or just like things that we want to play, which is actually really, really cool. Now there is something else I have to show off here. This was something really cool that Domain Format actually had. Little Field Centers, by the way. I do actually hope in the future. Look at this, man. Look at this art. Look at how gorgeous that this is. Look at how absolutely amazing that this looks. I do want to see, especially like the foiling that they did on this. These are very, very interesting in terms of, the little thing that they did. I also got the chance to talk to somebody that was picking up a lot of older Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff. And one of the things, they took a couple of little starter deck things from me, but I managed to trade for one of these, which is actually really, really cool. This was the only Adidas promo, or Nike promo. It's one of the two. I think it was the Nike Wins of Victory, or yeah. Actually, seeing one of these in person was really, really cool. I actually got a chance to trade for it. You go to these events, you don't really get the chance to see, like, a lot of the oddities. Like, I didn't see any red eyes. I didn't see a lot of crazy things. But, the people walking around, like, TP binders, where, you could find, like, infinite morphing jars, unlimited things like that. I mean, like, those are things that do, in fact, exist in the open. And of course, something else really cool I picked up. We got a Dark Magician signed by Dan Green. He's a little bit more common than you would expect in the wild, which is not all that bad. But we had all the voice actor signings years ago within the space. So we've not had any of those in quite some time. But those are, I think, the more cool little things I picked up. Working to kind of culminate and have more things for the tabletop simulator. I got 3 Harmonias over the weekend, which, took Ultimate Colossal Fire and Ultimate, Catastor to get, but, we got there. Those are done out of the way. We have Dominus Sparks coming from a friend of mine down in Florida. This is just a lot of cool things. So, what's your takeaway from this video? I still play this game. I still actively talk to the community. I still like to have fun. Domain format is coming up with some cool, interesting ideas for prizing for the community, which I think is really cool. I do expect some interesting things to come along with this idea, but we'll have to wait and see. So what do you guys think about everything? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.